In a land far away, beyond rolling hills and silent forests, there once stood a magnificent castle, shining under the moonlight. Inside that castle lived a young prince who had everything a heart could desire: wealth, power, beauty, and luxury beyond imagination. But there was one thing he did not have: a kind heart. He was proud and selfish, cruel to those he thought unworthy of him. The villagers feared him. Only the rich and powerful were welcomed into his grand palace. The poor were turned away without mercy. One cold and stormy night, as thunder roared and rain poured from the sky, an old beggar woman arrived at the gates of the castle. She was soaked, trembling, and weak. In her hands, she held a single red rose. She asked the prince for shelter from the storm. But when the prince saw her worn clothes and fragile appearance, he laughed and mocked her.
Go away. I will not allow someone like you into my castle.
The old woman gently warned him.
True beauty lies within the heart.
The prince rejected her again, and in that moment, the storm grew silent. The old woman transformed into a glowing enchantress. Realizing the cold darkness inside his heart, she cast a powerful curse upon the prince. In a flash of golden light, the prince was transformed into a horrifying beast. All the servants in the castle were turned into enchanted objects: clocks, teapots, candles, cupboards. Trapped between magic and time. Before disappearing, the enchantress left behind a final chance: a single magical rose. She said,
Before the last petal falls, you must learn to love and earn love in return. If you fail, you will remain a beast forever.
And so the years passed. The world outside forgot the prince, and inside the silent castle, the beast waited for a miracle that seemed impossible. Not far away from the cursed castle, beyond the dark forest, lay a quiet little village. Every morning, the golden sun rose gently over tiled rooftops. Birds sang through open windows. The smell of bread filled the air. And in that village lived a young girl whose beauty was not just seen, it was felt. Her name was Belle. Belle was different from everyone else. While the villagers chased wealth and status, Belle walked through dusty roads with a book in her hands, dreaming of distant lands, fearless heroes, and impossible adventures. Many called her strange, but her heart was kind and limitless. Belle lived with her widowed father, Maurice, a gentle and absent-minded inventor who dreamed of creating machines that could change the world. Their little home was filled with sketches, tools, broken gears, and half-finished wonders. To Belle, it was perfect. Every morning, she stepped out of her home into the village road. Greeting neighbors with a warm smile, she passed bakeries, fountains, and marketplaces, her dress flowing with each step. But not everyone admired Belle for her mind. In the village lived Gaston, strong, handsome, and dangerously proud. He desired Belle as his prize, not because he loved her heart, but because he wanted to own the most beautiful girl in the village. Again and again, Gaston proposed. Again and again, Belle refused. One day, Maurice prepared to travel to a nearby town to present his newest invention. Belle warned him about the changing weather. But Maurice, lost in his dreams, promised he would return safely. But on his way back, night fell. A storm rose without warning. Rain soaked the road. Thunder shook the sky. Maurice lost his way and wandered straight into the dark forest, a place no villager dared to enter. Suddenly, glowing eyes appeared between the trees. Wolves! They attacked. Maurice barely escaped, stumbling blindly through the forest until he reached the towering iron gates of a mysterious castle. The gates opened on their own. He entered, confused and shivering. Inside, the castle seemed abandoned, yet warm fires burned and food waited on the table. When Maurice reached for a red rose in the garden as a gift for Belle, a monstrous roar shook the ground. The beast appeared, enraged at the theft of the rose. The beast imprisoned Maurice in a dark tower. Back in the village, Belle waited. Hours passed, then days, but Maurice never returned. When Belle's horse came home alone, wounded and trembling, Belle knew something was wrong. Without fear, she followed the horse through the dark forest alone. Storm winds howled as she reached the cursed castle. Inside, she discovered her father imprisoned. Without hesitation, Belle made the bravest choice of her life.
Take me instead. Let my father go.
The beast hesitated, but he agreed. Maurice was set free, and Belle became the prisoner of the beast. Inside the castle, Belle met the enchanted servants. A warm-hearted talking clock, a gentle teacup, a glowing candle whose flame danced like life itself. They believed Belle could be the one to save them. The beast tried to hide his broken heart behind anger and rage, but Belle saw pain beneath the fur and fangs. At first, fear filled their days, but slowly conversations replaced silence. One night, Belle discovered the magical rose. Fearing it would be touched, the beast shouted at her in terror. Belle ran from the castle in tears. In the forest, wolves attacked her, and the beast, without thinking, rushed to save her. He was badly wounded. Belle carried him back, and as she cared for him through the long night, something changed. Days passed. Walls fell between hearts. The beast showed Belle his greatest treasure, a vast hidden library filled with endless books. Belle's eyes sparkled with wonder. They read together. They laughed. They walked beneath falling snow. And the beast began to smile for the first time in years. Through a magic mirror, the beast showed Belle the outside world. In it, Belle saw her father collapsing from illness and grief. And once again, the beast made a selfless choice. He set Belle free. Though it broke his heart, he loved her enough to let her go. Back in the village, Gaston used lies to turn the villagers against the beast. He claimed the beast was a monster coming for Belle. Fear turned to rage. Torches were lit. Weapons were raised. The villagers marched toward the castle. A battle broke out. The enchanted servants fought to protect their home. Gaston climbed the tower and attacked the wounded beast. Belle arrived too late. Gaston struck the beast and fell from the tower to his own destruction. The beast collapsed. The last petal of the rose fell. Belle held him close and whispered through tears,
I love you.
and at that exact moment, magic filled the sky. Light exploded from the rose. The curse shattered. The beast was transformed back into a young prince. The servants became human once more. The castle shone brighter than ever before. The villagers saw the truth. Fear vanished. Love remained. Belle and the prince stood together beneath falling golden light, not as a beauty and a monster, but as two hearts that saved each other. And from that day on, they lived happily ever after. Moral: true beauty is not found in appearance. It lives inside the heart.
Like, share, and subscribe to our channel Moral Stories Magic.